Today we take on races 4 and 5 of the chase here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Then we head on to the mile and a half in Kansas. Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 career mode here on the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. We are full swing chase mode at this point now as William Byron has control of the championship early on in the chase. And he's got Denny Hamlin as well as Ryan Blaney chasing him down. Of course, Hamlin still seeking that first title along with William Byron. Meanwhile, Ryan Blaney looking for his second Cup Series championship, being our 2023 Cup Series champion. Kyle Larson, another driver you can't rule out of the picture quite yet, but I think after today we'll have quite a good understanding of who is and who really isn't going to be a threat for the championship here. Now, as I was trying to get up to speed in practice, but I was unfortunately struggling quite a bit with the handling and just the overall speed and comfortability of this new era number 15 Chevrolet Camaro for this Junior Motorsports team in practice. So we ended up quite a ways down the leaderboard. Now I was like 30th place in practice, so it was not pretty as Ryan Blaney was at the top of your leaderboard. So I knew immediately this might be a tough weekend, and we talked about, before, Darlington was really the only tough weekend we can really afford given our chase position that we came in to start. So I was really hopeful that we're going to find a way to kind of turn this into a good weekend, but we still got time. I'm not too concerned yet. We'll wait and see where we qualify now as we head down into turn number 1 and running kind of this higher, lane now. I like to run right at the top of the black part here, and then of course you go into that gray section over there. That's really just if I'm desperate now as we head down this back stretch towards turn number 3. I'm just going to try and replicate the same thing now as we just try to stay in these bottom 3 grooves, maybe dip the right sides. Actually, we're going to go all the way over into the little darker gray area. And as we fire it up on the exit at turn 4 to the line for the Mobile 1301 P19, which surprised me because that's one of our better qualifying efforts lately, considering how I wasn't really happy with the car. And there's Christopher Bell on P1, and Bell has not had a chase that I think we expected for him to have. I thought he was going to be right there head-to-head with William Byron, and it just not has happened yet. So as we get ready to go racing here Sunday afternoon for some more chase racing. Now we have got again some work to do. Our Achilles heel has been qualifying. We're always in stage 1 kind of playing catch up, and it is what it is. I mean, I throw literally everything I have into a qualifying lap, and unfortunately sometimes it's, as you can tell, it's just not good enough at times now as we are ready to fire these engines and take the green flag for race 1 of 2 here today. Now 2 very different tracks from the Magic Mile to the mile and a half of Kansas coming up. Here we go. It's going to be green flag is out. We're racing from the Mobile 1301 here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. 17 laps in this first and opening stage as we'll head down into turn 1 following that number 77 of Carson Hocevar. Of course, we know the story about him getting into the chase now. The 3-way tie to make it on the tiebreaker with a 3rd place finish that got him in as we are swarmed 3 wide here into turn 3. Kyle Busch to my right side. I believe it was Austin Dillon to my inside. So RCR sandwich right there now as we're going to split the middle as well. 4 wide up in front of us with Bowman, Busher, Barry, as well as Carson Hocevar now as we'll head down towards turn 1. I mean, you see my reaction, just getting absolutely blown away on straightaway speed here in a maximum upgraded car, by the way. Make that make sense as we exit turn 2 down this back stretch now. And I'm like, all right, yep, this is going to be something that I guess we're going to be dealing with for the entirety of this race. And this is, definitely where some of the frustrations with this game can come out, because I just don't know how they let this happen where, I have a maximum upgraded car, but this straightaway speed, I just get absolutely blown away. So we're going to have to make all our time in the corners. Corner entry, center of the corner exit. That's where everything's going to come from today, because obviously the straightaways, we're going to be going in the wrong direction, unfortunately. So we just got to do what we can here now. In stage 1, Denny Hamlin currently leads now, but he's up there with Byron and Keselowski and Logano, Bell, Reddick, as well as Blaney and Larson. But for myself, I am really struggling with the handling of this car. You can see that it kind of feels really snug on corner entry and kind of to the center, but as soon as I go beyond the center of the corner, it starts to really free up. So I'm kind of battling two different sides of handling right now, where it's tight, but then it also gets really loose. And when you have to kind of deal with both of those, it makes things quite confusing on, you know, which direction do I need to take this car in. But it was, yeah, certainly something I was a bit concerned about. Look at this big slide here on the exit of turn 2, 3 wide in the middle now. Briscoe on my outside, and then John Hunter Nemechek to the inside going through. And here comes Shane Van Gisbergen as well, who was now into the mix in that WeatherTech Trackhouse number 88 Camaro. Now as there's some more 3 wide in front of us. Great racing from the AI, might I mention. Just the fact that, well, I can't really enjoy it as much because we're just, you know, in this weird situation of them having an extra 10 miles per hour down a straightaway than I am, as William Byron had returned to the lead. Into the outside wall, caution's going to come out. 22 of Joey Logano will bring out the yellow, and I decided at this point we're going to make an aggressive call because clearly we're just running 20th. We're not going to get any stage points with, like, you know, doing what we're doing. So we're going to take 4 tires, and we're just going to try and go forward here and make an adjustment as well on the wedge to go down to 47.5.
Here we come, fellas.
So a full round out of the wedge. Riley Herbst as well comes into the pit lane now, and William Byron will lead the field back to green. If you are Blaney, Hamlin, Larson, you realize, including myself, you got to be beating that 24 here today. And obviously for me, I feel like we're already in trouble before we're barely halfway in stage 1, and I feel like we're already in trouble now as we're going to dive one up the inside of the 84 of Jimmy Johnson as we exit turn 2. Big slide on the exit of the corner, and we'll save it, but I knew at that point my chance of like trying to claw my way to top 10 in 7 laps was now completely over. And now it's just, okay, let's see what we can do, and maybe as well try to learn something out of the car here. Now, as Brad Keselowski had actually taken the lead now in the final part of this first stage, but that lead is constantly kind of shuffling around right now as we'll head into turn 1, passing the number 84 Carvana Legacy Motor Club Toyota, and owner, of course, of that team, Jimmy Johnson, now as William Byron would then return to the lead. And you can see, I mean, with this fresh tire advantage, I mean, positives are that I can plant this car anywhere that I want. And it will work. I can just get around some people. So I was just throwing this car all over this place, all over the racetrack now, bottom, top, middle, wherever I needed to be, and it was allowing me to go forward. Obviously, at this point, though, I'm realizing if I didn't make that mistake on the restart and lose the rear of the car, there's a real chance we would have been able to claw our way into the top 10, steal some points, and I mean, if you can steal stage points, I mean, after running 20th, that can sometimes change the entire race for you because you can just have that track position and you can really turn that into something. Unfortunately, you know, like I said, you know, we've got ourselves in a bit of a bind now, and we're P26 trying to get ourselves at least kind of up to 20th where we were running when that caution came out. We pitted now as we got another new leader, the 48 of Alex Bowman out in front here now in that Ally Financial Chevrolet now. And as we come through to the final lap, Bowman still leading right on the back of the Cheddar Zade of Kyle Busch. And to turn 1, give him a nice push there now as we're just going to continue to just go where these guys aren't, all the way into the gray. 3 wide briefly with the 42 of Nemechek in the 8 as we exit turn 2. Big slide on the exit, but we're all good. We're going to give the 8 another little bit of a shove here down towards turn number 3. And now we're going to dive to the middle lane here for the final corner. Connor Zilish and the Gilliland side by side. We're going to split these two. Kyle Larson's going to steal the stage win, and we're going to get right to the back of the 17. And how about that? We end up exactly where we left off, P20. So not good enough, and I knew right there, you could see my reaction. I'm just like, yeah, I feel like this race, we're in trouble.
Does this strategy look like what you need?
So we're going to take tires again. We're going to take fuel. We also have a second of repairs to make actually on the front nose. Did pick up a little bit of damage there, and we'll maintain P20. Logano gives up 6 due to repairs finally from that crash he had. That brought out that original caution now as we get ready to go back racing. Now the green flag is back out, and the second stage is underway here from New Hampshire. William Byron was able to outscore us, unfortunately, now 28 laps though in this stage, so a very different Stage 2 compared to Stage 1 in terms of lengths. We could see a green flag pit stop here in Stage 2 as I tried to make that third lane work, immediately trying to, get the elbows out a little bit. Unfortunately, didn't quite work. So the momentum just wasn't quite there on the restart. So that's something we're going to have to kind of keep in mind, learning now for a little bit later in the race, that kind of maybe on even even tires kind of ducking out 3 wide to the outside definitely does not really seem to have its advantages like it did earlier when we were on that fresh tire advantage now. So we'll head back down into turn 1. Kyle Larson leads your number 5 HendrickCars.com Chevrolet now, who's in the, of course, kind of top 3, top 4 area of this chase grid right now, trying to run down his Hendrick Motorsports teammate of William Byron, as Briscoe's going to blow my doors off now into turn number 3. And it just feels like today, unfortunately, you know, once we're on even tires with everybody, I feel like, you know, we're probably an 18th to 20th place car on speed. We just don't have the speed, and this is just not a good situation for us to be in, because, you know, we know that William Byron is near perfect in all these chase races. We really only have probably one race that's going to have a chance to take William Byron out of the contention, or out of the, you know, make him lose some points, and that's the super speedway at Talladega. But we've seen as well William Byron win super speedways in NASCAR 25. We've seen him run super well. I mean, it just, for whatever reason, this game always seems to favor the 24, especially at the end of these races, as we go for a big slide again on the exit of turn 4. And at that point I said, screw it, we're definitely going to just tighten this car back up. I was trying to hang on to the looser handling car. It felt like I'd gotten used to it, but it just takes, you know, a very slight throttle, extra throttle, and then the rear end's going around on you. And I'm just hanging on at this point now, and we're only on lap 6, by the way, here of stage 2, and I was just not happy with the current situation that we find ourselves in. The car sucks to drive. It's slow on a straightaway compared to everybody else. This is genuinely maybe one of the most miserable races I've had so far in NASCAR 25, and I was already ready to pack it up and head to Kansas and just sacrifice all my points. I'm like, let me just get out of here. Let's head to Kansas and try to make something out of the 1.5 miles. But obviously, we got to keep grinding this out and get every point we can. Loose on the exit of turn 2 into the wall. Absolutely brilliant stuff as Zilish and Custer are now getting past us, and Daniel Suarez in the Nation's Guard 7 as well to the inside, and Ryan Blaney now to the lead of this race. Ryan Blaney has quickly entered the conversation of a championship fight, and as well having the most wins of the season right now, as Bell is on top with 7 wins, but Blaney has quickly, you know, jumped from just a win or 2 to now he's looking to, of course, get to like 5 and 6 wins as we continue on this, you know, late part of the season. It's been crazy. And if you are a member, a pit crew member, and of course you're on that 12 team, you're having an absolutely fantastic time as of late. Of course, we've got when F7, Mac and Cheese Boy, and CJ on the 12 car as members, looking for another win today on that 12 team, as I have made the call now to come into the pits at the end of lap 13. A little bit on the early side, but we've got nothing to lose. We've got absolutely nothing to lose right now. So we're going to pit early. We'll get 4 tires, and we'll get back out on the racetrack, and waiting for that almost 16-second mark before we get going, as Keselowski's now returned to the lead, and we are going to be, of course, scored 1 lap down, and just hoping here that we will not see a caution before these guys come into the pits.
One up high.
So as we get back up to speed, now we're already halfway through this second stage, and Keselowski in complete control as we're 3 wide briefly there with the 3 of Austin and Dillon, and we're pretty well coming out where we were racing, you know, Custer and Gilliland, all these kind of guys now. I mean, obviously we expect to be, you know, 15 positions ahead of those guys, you know, on a midday, and it's just not happening here. But we're going to continue to absolutely cook. Worst case scenario, if a caution does come out, we will get the free pass, but I don't want that, because that would put us way down the order. So obviously you do not want to see a caution come out now as we head down into turn 3. There's the caution. Ryan Priest into the outside wall. I mean, are you kidding me? We get the free pass. We do get the free pass, but the problem is, obviously, you know, this was an idea of pitting so early to get into the top 10. Now we're going to be 40th and trying to work our way forward with less than 10 laps to go in the stage. Priest loses 17 spots. Repairs immediately done to that Kroger number 60. And, I mean, what do you even do at this point, man? I mean, I was just so out of this race at this point now. I was just kind of like, we just got to hang on and finish this off. I got to the point now where I'm like, man, I don't really care where I finish. I just want to get this race done. And, you know, maybe the wrong mentality to have, because we're still trying to keep ourselves alive in the championship. But I'm like looking at the next, 5 races beyond today's episode, because after today, when we do Kansas, that will be the official halfway point of the chase, and we'll have 5 races to go. We'll have, I think there's still going to be races where we can, really thrive, and you never know. If William Byron struggles, we can have some opportunities, but we got a road course coming at the Charlotte Roval. Who knows what's going to happen there? We got Talladega coming, and then we got more mile and a half, so you got Las Vegas, but then you got Martinsville. Unfortunately, of course, the season ends at Phoenix. That's going to be difficult, but there's some good tracks coming up for us, and that kind of starts with that run from, Kansas to then the Roval, and then Vegas and Talladega and whatnot. Martinsville, I think we could have a good run at Martinsville if we have the right setup there. As you can see, we have only, though, coming to the end of stage 2, have barely cracked the top 30. We're going 4 wide here in the center of the corner with Stenhouse and a few others, just trying to make some headway. Big time loose on the exit of the corner. Even when I've tightened up the car, it just snaps loose on you, as Kyle Larson's in control at this point now, as he tries to sweep the first 2 stages. Bubba Wallace into the outside wall, cautions out, and that's going to allow the 5 to do exactly that. Kyle Larson sweeps the first 2 stages after really not leading a whole lot of them, as we'll now come back into the pits, take tires, take fuel, and at this point I was thinking of making more adjustments. Surprisingly, I'm going to loosen up the car from 48.5 to 48.0. Let's go green. Stage 3, P29. We're not going to give up hope. We know we've given up a lot of points so far to the 24 of William Byron. He hasn't won any of the stages, so that's been maybe one of the small positives here. But he was, I believe, second in stage 2, so still not great. We just gave up 9 there, and then I'm not sure how many we gave up to him in stage 1, but obviously the only way we're going to turn this race around properly is beating that 24 here, and I just, without some wild strategy, I just don't see how exactly that's going to be an option. As Ryan Blaney takes the lead, we're coming to 29 laps to go here, and immediately I was getting aggressive 4 wide on the outside, and well, of course, the 43 is going to slam me into the outside wall, and at that point I was just like, man, I am so done with these guys right here. So frustrating watching these guys blow my doors off every straightaway and get rammed into the wall. It just felt like, everything that could go wrong in this race was going wrong. As I'm still, at the end of the day, as frustrated as I am, as kind of taken out of this race as I am, I was still giving it everything I had and hoping that one way or another something's going to, kind of just happen that goes our way, because that's still always possible. We have seen these races here get flipped on their head with one awkwardly timed yellow, either in a pit cycle or just, at a random point that kind of changes up the pit sequence, the strategy. So I was like, you know what, there's still a chance something can happen, and we're just going to continue to grind this one out, and we are working our way back forward now. We're up to 24th behind Chase Briscoe, who's having a really rough run as well in that Bass Pro Shops number 19, so not a great race for him, as we're to the inside of Carson Hocevar. Now crash into turn 1, that's Tyler Reddick. Caution's going to fly, and that should bring everybody into the pits, because we can all make it from here, so any strategies out the window. We'll pit for 4 tires again. And fuel and get ready to go green for what could be the final restart. One thing I noticed, Denny Hamlin running 19th, by the way. Not a great race going for that number 11, who's been William Byron's closest threat in the championship so far. And as things run right now, he's going to probably give up a position in the points, with Ryan Blaney currently on pace to win this race. Joey Logano as well is up there. Bell has finally kind of gotten himself in the mix now, as we've got just a little over 15 laps to go in this race here, again, as we get split 3 wide by the Spire Chevrolets. Now McDowell to the left, Hocevar to the right, as we will just kind of hold our line. Hopefully we get that run on the exit of turn 4 right to the back of the 43. That's close quarters racing right there. Gave him a big push on the exit of the corner, and we were still 3 wide middle as we came out of turn 2. Now down this back straightaway, just trying to leave lanes there for Chastain and for McDowell, and we just continue to kind of hover around this kind of 20th place area. That's really all we've been capable of here in this race. Now, I'm surprised how long I've been showing this race, but in reality, as much as I have sucked in this race, there's been a lot going on. There's been a lot to show as Kyle Larson's got himself again out front in that HendrickCars.com Chevrolet. Can Kyle Larson complete the deal and get win number 6 on the season? Or could it be Joey Logano getting his first win on the season? Bit of a moment there on the exit of turn 2. We're all good though, running 20 seconds still and continuing to just scrap alongside Van Gisberg and Ryan Preece, hosts of our McDowell, as well, as we are giving the 60 RFK Ford Mustang just a big shove now as we come to lap 65. And now somehow, some way, William Byron has gotten to the lead late in this race. And remember what I said earlier. It's just the game always seems to have a way of getting William Byron to the front of these races, as that might be it. That might be it. I just completely lost it on the exit at turn 2, and that's going to bring out a yellow. And I'm embarrassed at this point now. What a disaster. What a disaster. We got damage. We got a pit. We're going to have to take tires. We're going to have to take repairs, and we're just going to have to send it for the final part of this race. I was just, I guess, honestly, just pushing too hard, pushing too much for what this car was truly capable of. So as we immediately jump back into this restart from dead last, it was at this point, I'm just like, man, I don't even know what to say. We've got 4 laps to go. William Byron leads. Will he hold on to this lead? That's going to be a big question. I can see from here Ryan Blaney showing the nose to the inside of that Raptor 24. We're going to still just, you know, as frustrated as I am, going to give it everything we have on these final couple of laps just to try and make up whatever points that we can. Oh my goodness, I just drove straight into the back of the 50. I was very unexpected of that closing rate right there, but we still get the job done around the outside and avoid damage as well, thankfully, now as we give Daniel Suarez a big push. Ryan Blaney had taken the lead here at this point with 3 laps to go, but he's still got William Byron hounding him in that 24 as we have a bit of contact with Noah Gragson there on the exit of turn 2. And as we head down this front straightaway with 2 laps to go, Blaney still leads as we're back into the top 30 and then coming to the white flag. Now William Byron has taken the lead from the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Can Blaney get it back? We'll keep a close eye on that track map now, but it's going to be close. Blaney's on the outside of William Byron, so I don't see how that's going to work out unless he crosses him over into turn 3 as we're 3 wide to the outside of Kyle. Was looking for a big run down the back, giving a shot to the back of the 42 of Nemechek. We're going to lunge 4 wide to the inside. Blaney's to the inside of Byron as well. He's going to take the lead back through 3 and 4. We're going to be 4 wide. We're going to break back into the top 20, and Blaney's going to steal the win at the checkered. Ryan Blaney wins in New Hampshire. We still rebound to 19th after all of that. We still at least finish where we should have, in my opinion. And Ryan Blaney gets the win at the last second over Byron, Bell, Logano, Briscoe, your top 5, as we have to settle for a 19th place effort. Not ideal. Not ideal. We'll take a look, of course, at the point standings following today's race. But as you can imagine, William Byron still at the top of the standings here, as he's now got a 33-point gap, no longer over Denny Hamlin, but now Ryan Blaney. Hamlin drops to 42 points back, Larson at 61 back, Bell at 68, and then you got to go down to me and Briscoe, who are 90 and 91 points back in 6th and 7th. So not ideal, not where we want to be. And I have said before, once you kind of go to 100 points back, it's pretty well over, likely. And I feel like, we are going to have to just clutch up here in Kansas, because if that happens in Kansas, if we come out of this episode more than 100 points out, our chances of a championship are pretty well impossible, especially with how consistent that 24 car of William Byron runs. You have to hope the 24 has issues. And he's had issues throughout this regular season, but here in the chase, he has turned it up, and he's just had nothing go wrong. He's been, unbelievably consistently up front. As we come through, though, into qualifying to the line, we go P23, kind of where I expect to be on a mile and a half, so that's nothing out of the ordinary, nothing too concerning, as of course, though, Byron and Larson do sweep the front row, as we as well actually had Trackhouse's number 87 in the field this weekend, and it was Casey Kane who's made his return again here in Kansas, and Casey Kane will take part for Trackhouse and Red Bull in the number 87 here on the high banks of Kansas Speedway. So we're ready to go racing then now from Kansas in the Boost Energy number 15 Chevrolet for this junior motorsports team. And oh man, like the pressure's on. The pressure is definitely on here in this race after, having such a bad race in New Hampshire. Again, like I said, we just cannot go more than 100 points behind the championship leader, and if we don't clutch up over these 67 laps here today, there's a very real chance we're going to find ourselves in that position. Green flag is out. We're racing from Kansas Speedway. This is a race that I have the confidence of winning. I genuinely think we could go get win number 4 of the season of our Cup Series career. Of course, here in our second season at this point now, as William Byron, though, Kyle Larson, they'll lead this field down the back straightaway. Not too worried about where they start now. And of course, the number one thing I want to be able to do is get to the outside and rip the wall. But I mean, I am aware we can definitely also make the bottom work at some points here. So definitely going to be hyper aware of that. And as we have 20 laps here in stage 1, that does mean a pit stop will be necessary at some point here. So be that under green or under caution, that is to be determined, of course. Now as we follow Carson Hocevar into turn 1, Zilish up here in the mix now as well on my outside. We should clear that 99 of Zilish down this back straightaway. We got trouble up ahead, and around goes the 17 of Busher. Caution out already on lap 2 here in Kansas. That did not take long at all. Everybody's going to stay out here. We cannot make it yet from here. Of course, we're only on the second lap of this race, so we can't make it to the end of the stage if we were to pit at this point. So we all stay out, and we'll get ready to go green. Busher obviously stays out. I don't think he's got any damage, so his speed should be fine. I don't really see him. I didn't see him hit anything there. Now as we'll return back to the green flag racing here and kick things up again now. I mean, it's almost like a second attempt at the original start of this race now. I mean, we only had a lap and a half, kind of completed there when that caution had come out. Now as the 24 will again lead us through turn 1 and off turn 2, heading down that back straightaway now as Hocevar is to my inside, and now we're on to the outside line. So that caution did grant us, that second lane, the even lane, and getting us down to the top as we head down into turn 3, and immediately you're going to see me start to make some time on this outside here. Not right against the outside wall. I mean, right now we're just kind of doing the kind of risk assessment, and on lap 5 now, starting lap 6 of the race, there's just no point to be right up against the wall. But you can see, I mean, I'm putting this car all over this place now. I mean, jumping down to the middle here between Smith and Gibbs, and then Noah Gregson's going to be a bro, and he's going to give me a big push as we head down into turn 1, and that would allow me to at least clear the 54, not quite the 38, but then we would actually, instead of running the top, on lap 8, I had jumped down to the inside here and actually started making some headway. And now we've gotten ourselves up into P21, now passing Hocevar for 20th. We have not made the progress that I have wanted in stage 1. We're only running 19th place at this point. Come lap 10, we're coming up on the halfway point now, but we clear Allmendinger. We're going to get right to the right rear of that number 21 of Josh Berry, and it felt like right now this was the exact moment where things start to rip on this number 15, because now I'm up on this top lane and I am absolutely rolling past the number 8 Cheddar Chevrolet of Kyle Busch, and then we're coming up right to the back to the 43 of Eric Jones. We're going to have a big run, but he's going to get checked up by the 2. We're going to dive to the inside, pass him on the inside. So right now I can put this car pretty well wherever I want, and that's a sign of a car that's capable of winning, is when you can put your car anywhere and it will pass everybody on even tires. Now, shot to the back of the 22. We get a big run on the exit of turn 4. Clear of the 2, diving to the apron. And now we'll pass the 22 of Joey Logano. And on the run into turn 1, surprisingly, we'll clear him. So we'll jump up in front and continue to roll this top lane. And now stage points are becoming a very real possibility, but so are pit stops. We got to come in. So we're going to come in here with 7 laps to go. We're, of course, going to take 4 tires. I'm actually going to turn my wedge down to 45.5. I see Larson pitting, Reddick's pitting. I can't tell. I believe that's Hamlin. That is Hamlin coming in. Bubba Wallace is in. We enter alongside Wallace. Let's watch the scuffed pit lane do its work and wait. There goes Bubba. Yeah, I mean, we come out. I mean, that's going to be well over a second gap that he's going to have on me. So still, even speeding by 30 miles per hour, you see how much time you still give up in the pit lane to the other guys. Now, as we're going to be racing with Hocevar now, it's going to be coming to 5 laps to go as we're going to be scrapping on the exit of the pit exit here. But honestly, I still think we have a chance to score stage points because of the other drivers staying out a bit longer, including the leader of William Byron, as we'll exit turn 2. And here's this first group exiting. Cindric and Blaney right here. Of of course, we were already racing with Cindric, but Ryan Blaney has fallen back, and William Byron is the next one to come out of the pits, and he still comes out in front of us now. But here comes Briscoe and Elliott gonna check up that 12 of Blaney, and Byron's ways up front. But now Zilish in the 99 pits from the lead will pass Hocevar for P11, and then we've got to fight with this guy, the 19 of Chase Briscoe now, as everything has sorted itself out, and we are now racing with Briscoe, and now Priest and Chastain for the last spot in the top 10. Close call right there. We got a big run. We got to take it 3 wide to the inside as Denny Hamlin leads, coming to the final lap here of stage number 1. Larson's in second over Byron as we'll clear the 60 of Priest. We'll move into the top 10. It's a 4, 5, 6 car, even 7 car scrap right now for P10, all the way back to Chase Elliott and Armir, jumping to the outside. 3 wide for every stage point we can find on the exit of turn 2 down this back straightaway. And now we're going to be P9 clearing the 43 now, who might give us a push into turn 3. Chastain in control of this little group here, and Briscoe and myself split him. Hamlin comes through to win stage 1. Briscoe's going to get us at the line, but we will bring it back to the line for P8. Very, very content with that as an effort here in stage 1, starting outside of the top 20 and into the top 10.
Want to change anything up?
So obviously, another adjustment, but we will be pitting for 4 tires and fuel one more time here. And we'll get ready to go green for the second stage, where feeling very confident, and oh boy, the 99 has stayed out. Connor Zilish, who pitted later than anybody, has remained on the racetrack. He's going to be right in the way on this inside line. That is a brave decision. I don't think it's a good one. We're gonna probably prove that here in about a lap and a half. Now, as we head down into turn number 1, Denny Hamlin's going to be absolutely feasting on the second lane on the outside now, because he knows the guy to his left has old tires. Hamlin should just be able to dive out in front of this race, and hopefully for him, take off into the distance now as we head down into turn number 3, and this is where you're going to start to see that 99 start to kind of give up some time, and sure enough, Hamlin's clear, and everyone's all over each other. I mean, look at this multi-crew. Fantastic racing as we head down this front straightaway to start lap 2 of stage 2. Now 21 laps in the stage. Here comes Blaney to my inside. Now we're 3 wide in the middle. Now it's Hamlin over Busher and Larson, and Zilish continues to draw back in that Trackhouse 99. Now as we're going to jump to the 3rd lane in front of the number 1 Kubota Chevrolet of Ross Chastain now, and we're going to rip that wall again here into turn 3. Zilish trying to drop down to the inside. Look at the run, and cautions out. They were crashing behind, and that is going to get us ready for another restart. Now I thought I was in front of that 99. Apparently I wasn't, so we will restart here from P9, and that's just like the first and opening stage. You know, we take off, and then boom, we get a really quick yellow to come out and kind of, you know, halt everybody, reset everything as we get ready to go back at racing now. Lap 6 of 21 here in the second stage now, and William Byron is up there in P5 right now. I mean, most importantly though, he's being outran by the 5 of Larson, by the 11 of Denny Hamlin. Ryan Blaney's up there alongside him. Of course, right now, Blaney and Hamlin being the closest threats in the championship to William Byron. And another thing we know, of course, Denny Hamlin will be retiring at the conclusion of this season. Of course, it hasn't been a great season for Denny. He said he was ready to move on. He did get the win in Darlington to kick off the chase, and here he is now, you know, with 6 races remaining in his full-time Cup Series career, and he's just, you know, trying to give it his all and fight for a championship come the end of this 2026 season. But I do fear that he's going to be in the same boat as everybody else, where William Byron's going to have one bad race if those guys are going to have a chance to get him, and it's going to have to probably be, you know, in either a race for the 24 Rex, or it's going to have to be Talladega, where you never know where they're going to end up. And then those guys, of course, like Hamlin and Blaney, are going to have to run up front here now. Speaking of William Byron to the lead, it goes that Exalted Chevrolet 24 as we head down this back straightaway 3 wide with Briscoe and Busher on the inside. So we, continue 3 wide as well on the exit of turn 4. Great racing here again, and we continue 3 wide down this front straightaway all the way into turn 1, continuing to rip the wall now. But now Busher and myself both get clear of the 19. Busher, I'm going to give him just a little bit of a shove forward into turn number 3 now as he jumps up into this kind of middle lane. So now myself and Briscoe are going to take him 3 wide. We continue 3 wide with these two as we exit turn 2. This is where I just just love this game, man. The AI racing, as flawed as they can be with pitch strategy and straight line speed and stuff like that, this is where the game really shines, and it's just so much fun. Here comes a big push, though, from the 17, and that's going to push me in front of the 19. Big run to the back of the 45 of Reddick, and then a big shove again, now this time from Briscoe, and we dive to the inside of the 45, and now you can see we're kind of entering the conversation to be fighting up front here in this race, but unfortunately, William Byron's continuing to drive away. That's not what anybody in this field wants to see right now, as we'll clear just about the 45, but not quite. Now a big push again coming from the 40, or from the 19 to clear the 45. So now into P4 we go, and Briscoe continues to push me right up to the back of the 5 of Kyle Larson, and we waste zero time. I'll lunge up the inside. Do we clear the 5? Not quite. We'll have to rely on hopefully one more push from Briscoe, and it looks like, never mind, Briscoe's trying to take me 3 wide to the inside. He says, I'm not pushing you any longer. And now here comes Chase Briscoe to the inside. Larson, that is tight. He comes down right in front of me, says absolutely not, chopping your nose. And now Tyler Reddick's coming into the pits behind us, so it's time to come into the pits here. And we're probably going to just come in right here at the end of lap 15, and it's going to be a 4-tire call as we exit turn 4. Byron's in, Hamlin's in, Briscoe and Larson and Elliott and a few others are going long. We speed by about 25 miles per hour, and we'll get these 4 tires on this car. And as we exit, there goes Byron, there goes Hamlin. Oh, well, you know what? Let's let Briscoe, Blaney, and Chastain, you know, we might as well let everybody through at this point on the pit exit now. So again, because of the, well, there goes the 45, and we're a lap down. I think our race just got screwed. You see my reaction in the, I'm like, there's no way that just happened. Kyle Busch wins the stage because of that, by the way. Let's go, Kyle Busch. Rest in peace, of course, Kyle Busch. And now a lot of cars are trapped a lap down. The number is 18. 18th on back is trapped a lap down from Chastain, or 17th right now, because whoever's 17th is getting the free pass. So now we need to be 18th to get the free pass, and those guys that are like Byron and Briscoe and all those guys, they're back on the lead lap. Larson and Hamlin and, you know, Blaney, they're all back on the lead lap because they were just in front of the 8 car of Kyle Busch when Tyler Reddick decided to have a crash. And now Briscoe is going to be leading this race back to green, and at this point I was just like, man, that's my luck tonight. You know, New Hampshire went bad. I was recording this at the same time, of course, as New Hampshire, so I was just coming off of that race of frustration, and we're having a great race in Kansas, looking like as time goes on, going into the stage, I was like, we might have a shot to win this, and Tyler Reddick decides to wreck for the 19th time this season, and that completely ruins our day here from Kansas potentially now, because now we're racing for the free pass. But there's one thing that I hadn't thought of yet that's going to be a problem. Remember when I pit, I only took 1 can of fuel because that was the fuel I needed to make it to the end of stage 2. I did not pit at the end of stage 2, so I wasn't even thinking about it. I wasn't even aware yet. I only have like 6, 7 maybe or so laps of fuel in this car right now, if that, and I'm up to the back of Chastain right now, passing him for the free pass position. So now, of course, a caution would be very welcomed as we head down this back straightaway into turn 3, but I had completely forgot about the field, that I had taken only 1 can. And now as I had raced all the way up into the middle of the kind of top 10 runners as Briscoe continues to lead, you're going to eventually see this fuel light come on, and that's when the realization hits right here. I'm like, oh my God, we're in trouble. We only got 2 laps of fuel. So we're going to have to pit. We need to hope for a caution before the end of this next lap. And we got to pit at the end of this lap right here, lap 48. We're going to have to take 4 tires. We're going to have to take fuel, but unfortunately a bad race just got worse because of, well, simply forgetting about the fuel situation that we put ourselves in. And now this right here is the nail in the coffin, I fear, on our chase opportunity now, as we'll come into the pits now and we'll take the fuel. I am just so frustrated with how this episode has gone. I mean, what do you even do at this point? You know, you just gotta hang in there, and obviously now we gotta hope that no caution comes out again, because we'll be trapped 2 laps down, and that would be really bad. So we need to hope for no yellow here. Now, actually, I do think if we get a caution, we might be able to take the wave around and go to 1 lap down, but obviously that wouldn't really do us much either, because then we'd be on older tires. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. Sure enough, There it is, everybody. There's your crash from Riley Herbst's caution zone, and I mean, I'm just in disbelief at this point. So, we do get to take the wave around. This will promote us to 1 lap down because literally everybody except for myself and Todd Gilliland, who just pitted as well, has to come into the pits. So, one car will get the free pass. I believe it's going to be Chastain. I'm not sure. Actually, no, it's not going to be Chastain. It's going to be the 23 of Wallace. Bubba Wallace, free pass. So now we are going to see 19th place on back, all scored 1 lap down, and fortunately for us, with the wave around, we are promoted to 1 lap down as well. So here's the situation. A little over 10 laps to go, and we're now racing for the free pass. It is possible to still get back onto the lead lap, but the problem is now, if there was some world where that happened, we wouldn't even have enough time to go back forward because of how few laps we have left if we got the free pass. Now it's Chase Elliott actually to the lead here in Kansas now down this back straightaway, but now the second problem was we have older tires than everybody, so we're only going to be able to do so much now as Ty Gibbs is back here. Ty Gibbs has had a really rough chase so far now, but I was just giving it everything I had, trying to claw for every position just in case this goes green to the end. Of course, if a caution comes out, we will be pitting for 4 tires as well as fuel and push hard to the end of this race and try to gain whatever positions that we can. And I really am hoping for a caution, especially sooner rather than later. As we come to lap 60, right behind us, around goes the 34. Caution is going to come out. Obviously not a free pass, but we have an opportunity now to take tires and then climb up to, I guess, what would be P20, I guess would be the best we would be able to do, because 19th should get the free pass now. So I guess there's one positive light out of this. The negative is we thought going into stage 3, we thought we were going to be racing for the win, and now we're racing for P20, and I can guarantee is William Byron now, by the way, has the lead. Come lap 64 for the leaders now, 4 laps to go. I mean, with him leading, if he wins this race, that pretty well seals the deal on any chance we have at winning a championship here in our second season of NASCAR Cup Series competition. I didn't come into my second season expecting to win a championship, so it's not like I'm disappointed about not winning a championship, but I'm definitely going to be disappointed about being out of the running, you know, this soon. I mean, halfway through the chase. You know, that's certainly not what I wanted to see, as we're making very aggressive moves here. 3 laps to go now from Kansas now, and pushing, literally pushing the 54 through the center and exit of turn 2, and I mean, gives us both a big run as we head down into turn 3 and then to the front straightaway. Now 2 laps to go from Kansas. We break into the top 30 to the outside of Hocevar to the back of the 2 of Cindric, who's going to cover that top line, and now okay, we'll jump down to the middle. They're 4 wide in front of us with Myers, Bowman, Smith, Yaley as well. I'm like, all right, I'll just send it to the inside here. We'll take it 4 wide, and now just 3 into turn 3 now, and we've got a very easy kind of layup here to get at least maximum points for our current situation of P20 as we exit turn 4. White flag in the air for the 24 of William Byron. Byron is about to take a very, very commanding lead in the championship now over Blaney and Denny Hamlin, who both run several positions back. Denny Hamlin, 2 rough races. There you see Hamlin in the 11, not even in the top 10. As we get to P21, I guess 21st might have been the best we could do. No, sorry, we do pass to 71 for P20, so we will at least get 20th as William Byron leads over Briscoe, Elliott, Kyle Busch in the top 5, but William Byron will take the checkered flag as he wins here from Kansas Speedway. Win number 7 for the number 24 of William Byron on the season. That's a win for Christian Valentin, his crew chief in the first toilet as tire changer as well for the 24 team. That's win number 6 for Christian in toilet as well. So shout out to them and shout out to the 24 team of William Byron. I mean, absolutely incredible stuff they're doing there as you see the rest of you finishing order. And unfortunately, here's the bad news. William Byron winning that race takes such a commanding lead in the championship and puts us at over 100 points out. Same for Chase Briscoe. Byron has a 68-point lead over Blaney following that race, and 72 over Hamlin, 90 and 91 over Larson and Bell. So for Byron to lose this championship, he's going to have a bad race, and that's going to be maybe a Talladega or a race where he has an issue. But 5 races left, 68 points. It's going to be hard for anyone to make that up just with an average race, so he's going to have issues. Otherwise, William Byron is in cruise control to win his first NASCAR Cup Series championship. That does it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.